We're less than 48 hours away from the launch of the new 2019 Honda Talon. What is it going to be? Here's our predictions coming up next.
Another Chupacabra sighting.
So Honda's got two 1000cc motors at their disposal. They could easily throw in this new Talon side by side. The Africa twin motor is 94 horsepower. The Honda Pioneer is 72. Two solid options, similar in design. The Southwest hardcore side-by-side crowd wants 150 horsepower or more. So the real question is, will Honda release a turbocharged version? Transmission. This is what's going to separate the Honda from all the other side-by-sides on the market. Basically, being this late to the game, the market's been established. Honda cannot come out with another Polaris, meaning it can't come out with another CVT, 90-inch wheelbase, 18-inch travel, exact same type of specs as a Razor or even an X3, and expect to compete with competitors that are so established. So the DCT is what we're going to see. Looking at the spy photos, it looks pretty obvious that you've got some paddle shifters right up there on the steering wheel. Now, on the Honda Pioneer, you've got paddle shifters, which have three modes: standard, sport, and manual. Now, I've driven the Pioneer 1000. On paper, it's what everybody says they want. Option to go manual, sport mode, or automatic. In the real world, the shifting seems a little slow and sluggish. I'm a dirt bike guy. I much preferred the actuation of a clutch like the YXZ had when it initially launched. But I would imagine, because Honda's come out with a much higher performance version than the Pioneer, it's going to be a lot less clunky, and more importantly, it's going to hold up to bigger, heavier tires, sand dunes, and a much harsher driving situation than the Pioneer would ever see. For wheelbase, you've got the Razor 2-seat at about 90 inches, the Textron Wildcat at 95, and then finally the X3 at 102. I think most of the market has agreed that 90 is definitely the bare minimum. It'd be nice to see 95, or 93 to 98, even closer to 100 inches, just because that extra wheelbase definitely helps in all the nasty whoops and harsh terrain here in the Southwest. So, based on this prototype leaked photo of the green Talon, it looks like the wheelbase is definitely longer than 90 inch. Hard to tell, but I'm hoping for 95 or more. Okay, suspension. If you guys have seen some of these patent drawings online, you've seen two different variations. You've seen a 3-link and a 5-link. What it appears to be is this leaked photo of the three Talons, the silver and blue right here in the front part of the photo, appears to be a narrower, potentially a 60-inch, more of a trail model, which looks to me to possibly have the 3-link simplified suspension system. You can see the lower shock mount is up a little bit higher, meaning it would have less shock stroke, meaning it would have less travel, not that big of a deal in a trail model. On the other hand, you look at the 5-link setup, which kind of reminiscent of the old Wildcat, appears to be in the photo here when you're looking closely at the green leaked Talon, and that looks like a much longer shock stroke, and the vehicle looks to be putting out at least 17 to 18 inches of travel in the rear. My personal opinion, the 5-link looks overly complex, a little overly clumsy. I hope that's not it, but it probably will be. My reason for saying that is just because, coming from more of an off-road background, the more keep it simple stupid, you're not seeing a lot of the fast high-end race cars running with this many types of different linkage setups. It could be more of a marketing play on Honda's behalf, that they're getting a little bit better geometry, kind of like what Textron preaches with their Wildcat. It remains to be seen if it's true. I think as a whole, a lot of customers are going to be a little more turned off, like myself, if you're talking about more complexity, more trailing arms, more radius rods, more things to break. Looking at the suspension, I'm going to say there's an 80% chance they're going to go with Fox. Fox is the industry leader. They've got a much higher production volume than any other brand that's making shocks for OEM vehicles. Let's just hope that it's not a basic QS3, hopefully something with more adjustment. There's a 10% chance of something interesting like a Showa or a Kayaba used in their motocross bikes. And then I would say there's maybe a 10% chance we might see a Walker Evans. Looking at the photo again of the green Talon, it appears to be only a 2.5-inch body in the rear, not a 3.0. Not a deal breaker, but definitely not ideal. We definitely want to see as big of shocks as possible with as much shock stroke as possible and volume, just because simply put, it's going to work better in big whoops and harsh terrain. Now let's talk about what it all boils down to. Southwest customers, are they going to run out and buy this new unit? Couple things that in my mind that are going to necessitate that to get the real interest of the hardcore market. One, it's got to fit 32-inch tire stock. I love the idea of going away from a CVT belt to try something new and different, but let's be honest, a CVT belt works really good. I mean, plenty of turbo RZR owners, X3 owners, comfortably pushing out above 180, 190 horse with some tunes, and pretty reliable for the most part. And the clutching on CVTs is pretty simple and inexpensive to adjust based on paddles, tires, how big of tires you're running. In 2018, as we head into 2019, everybody's running 32-inch tires. The real conversation is, do we bump up to 35-inch tires, or is 32 the sweet spot for these vehicles? So if this vehicle cannot handle 32-inch tires from the get-go without the need of expensive clutching, then I don't think it's going to be very successful in the Southwest. My prediction, naturally aspirated 1000 cc, 6-speed dual clutch DCT transmission. Suspension travel is going to be 18 in the rear, 16 in the front, 64-inch wide. They're also going to release a 60-inch trail model, potentially a 50-inch trail model. And I'm going to say the MSRP is $19,999, just to keep it under $20,000 and competitive in the marketplace. The seats appear to be really high quality. The doors look really well designed. So we're going to be there Tuesday at the reveal in Los Angeles, and comment below if you have any questions you'd like us to ask while we're there. We'll be reading all these comments on our YouTube channel, Facebook, and Instagram. When we received the invite, it said it was a release from the Power Sports division as well as the Automotive division. So Honda released this open-air rugged concept vehicle right before SEMA just a few weeks ago, just to probably draw some attention. It's probably something that'll never see the light of day. But also think about the Honda Ridgeline Baja racing effort that's been going on for almost 3 years. So Honda's committed to off-road racing on some level. I love this quote from the founder of Honda himself. You know, they love racing. It's obvious that they're this big sleeping giant in power sports. They have the amazing capability, amazing brand loyalty, amazing reputation for quality and reliability. So we're all really excited. I hope some of my predictions are wrong. I want to be excited. I'm sure most of you do as well. So tune in Tuesday. We'll talk all about it. We'll talk about what we thought it was going to be, what it is, if we missed anything. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on Tuesday.
Another Chupacabra sighting.
I've never run across anything like this.
Do you believe in the Chupacabra?